order to tell the story of the music for Junglemahal, we have to go way back in time until 2018. I was finishing my first movie ever, and I was looking for my new project to come. And I came across this young director from India who was looking for a composer for his project. Was his first feature film, and I thought it would be a very, very good idea to try and check and send him a mail and my pitch for the ideas of music ideas for the movie. And this director turns out he was Arunava Chaudhary, and I will call him now my friend. And but way back then we barely knew each other, so I was informed that there were lots of people, a lot of composers trying to get the role as a composer for the movie, and I thought that it wasn't going to be even possible to me. So I just tried to play some piano in my home, and I tried to get some couple of ideas together, and I just sent him the demo, and I forgot about it because with these things you never know, and you have to keep on looking and keep on investing in yourself, investing in your music and your promotion, everything. But then a couple of weeks later, he wrote back and he said, "Listen, I think I like your music, and let's meet to see if you can be the composer for my movie." And the rest is history, my friends. So since then, we started to talk a lot about the movie itself, about terror music, about life in general, about his filmmaking process, because it's very unique from my point of view. And we started to develop a beautiful relationship between the both of us. But with this movie, we have suffered the worst world scenario until now, I think, because not only we had to work from a distance, but we were able to have Zoom, Skype meetings, streaming with my dog to his location and everything real time. But we suffer from everything plus a little thing called COVID-19. But we use that time to be locked down in our homes and try to work on some different ideas for certain parts of the movie. So we have, on the one hand, we have the disadvantages of the real world, but on the other hand, we have the advantages of having more time, more practical time to actually do the work. So I think the movie itself has something unique to it, because we have been through something similar to the characters in the movie at a personal level, because we have been through things that we don't know how to control, and we try to survive those situations, and we try to do the best with a lot of heart, a lot of craft, a lot of time, and a lot of patience. And it's something that I really appreciate about this project, especially working with Arunava. He's one of the best directors I've been fortunate enough to work with, because he's so talented. He does everything. He knows film, he knows music, he loves music, which is way more important. And he has always left so much space for me to develop my own ideas. And he's not he's always trying to improve the scene, trying to think the big picture. He has everything in his mind, like characters, performances, lighting, everything. So it's really easy and really beautiful to talk to him about the movie, because he breathes the all these cinema and all the things that he wanted to share with the audience. So that's one of the main things that I wanted to keep on track, because I thought that if I have the privilege to have this brilliant director working with me, I want to be 100% for him. I'm such a big fan of Bram Stoker's Dracula. I saw the movie. I was very young, by the way, but I saw the movie, and the thing that frightened me more, it was the music. It wasn't the performances or the cuts or anything. I remember it was the music. It's full of low cello parts, along with double basses, violas, really in this low register. I loved it. So when I got this chance to be my own composer for one beautiful and scary theme, I kept it in my mind a lot, and I started playing some notes on the piano, and I just landed on B flat minor. I know it's a very unusual key to be in, but I really love the sonority of it. I love how you can orchestrate things around that key, and I love how when you develop the theme, I can go through as many modulations as I want to in order to land in a certain area, which for me it's E minor. So there you can expand all these low energy arrangements with the orchestra. But for the main theme, it starts with this little motif with the piano, and then I'm introducing little by little the orchestra with crescendos, and we work every area of tonality as a different landscape or different place to feel something different. So there's a lot of changes, but when I'm done with the changes, I'm going to stay there, which is E minor and then C minor. And for me, C minor is the main key for the entire movie, because it's very scary for me for some reason that I don't understand. So everything is a journey between B flat minor and C minor, going through all different places, and then landing where I wanted you to land. One of the most important challenges that we faced is the Maria's theme, because Maria, she's the lead character of the movie, and the performance that I got is brilliant. It has everything, and so when you have everything into one performance, me as a composer, I try to not get in the middle of the action sometimes. So every time that I place music for Maria, I felt that I was revealing so much. And for me, this is a journey. This is This is something that I want you to be part of, and I want you to be involved with the action, with the things that is happening. So this time I went for leaving Maria's theme as a very simple motif that appears sometimes in the movie, but it's more about silence, about atmospheres, about drones, low frequency drones, about one synth that we programmed called Heartbeat. And we want you to explore your feelings during the movie and want you to be part of the movie by not knowing what's going on there. So this time I wanted to talk about Maria's theme because it's very important sometimes to not to reveal so much and leave the audience to fill the gaps. On the other hand, we have the last track of the movie, which is called Let's Go Home. And I wanted to have a beautiful ending. I talked with Arunava many times about this scene, and we left it to the very ending because for me it was such an adventure of 5 years of my life, pretty much. And I wanted to do everything, and then when I had all the themes laid down before me, try to build something with them to finish the movie in a beautiful and complete way. So I took all the elements of the movie, all the sounds that we made, all the different modulations, and the main theme as well, and I decided to go to the key of F major because we started in B flat minor, and I thought it would be beautiful to have a modulation to a brighter side of the spectrum. So for me, it's a beautiful track, a beautiful piano track. I played myself live, and there's no cuts there. It's just me, one take, and the rest is just the orchestra surrounding the piano. And for me, it was very emotional because I remember I was playing the piano at the end of the movie. And I was watching the movie, and I thought to myself, "Oh my God, I think I'm done, and I think we did it." And it's one of the most beautiful feelings in the world. So I hope you like it a lot, and that you can live with it as well, and you can be happy with it and in love as I am. Junglemahal was my first terror movie ever, so it's terrifying to be a composer, but it's very exciting at the same time because I've been in love of the genre for a long time now, and I knew what music's supposed to do sometimes, which is give you these jump scares and give you those creepy feelings, very cold, very high pitch, a very low pitch at the same time. And I wanted to deliver a good piece of art that can fit into the genre without losing my own spirit. So I went for sound design for the most parts. It's not such a great music content, but I try to merge both of my areas at the same time with sound design and then music orchestration, and I wanted to blend them together in order to give you like a hybrid orchestration to enhance the beautiful performances, beautiful cinematic appearance of the entire movie. But I decided early on to keep them as simple as possible, because when you have a movie and you leave space for silence, for instance, the movie becomes real. So you can connect more with the action of the movie itself, and you are, as an audience, you're waiting for something to happen, which sometimes it doesn't happen. So that's where we trick you, and we want you to be involved with the narrative of the movie. For me, choirs in general, vocal performances are one of the most beautiful and soulful connections that we have as human beings. So I used this element, but in a different way, which has been used before many times. But I use clusters, which are the union of several notes together, which on themselves they are very dissonant. But if you lay them down and you let them rise with dynamics, they give you a beautiful landscape, a beautiful color to express that something is happening. So in this soundtrack, you're gonna find lots of clusters, vocal clusters, and alongside them we have these synths that we programmed, heartbeats, low noises, low frequencies, low drones that can carry on all the tension. At the same time, we have really high-pitched violin harmonics, and we use reverb to sort of merge everything within the picture, but also to give you more depth and more space. And that's something that I have to be thankful for on Arunava's side, because he was very concerned about depth. And that's something that I explore with him, and I think we achieve a beautiful landscape for everything. I also used some technique which is really weird to ask for a player, because I took violins and cellos and I forced them to play with more energy to the bow. When you have such a delicate instrument as a violin, for instance, and you ask the player to sustain a note and then play with more energy to the bow, something really magical happened. Is that pretty much is like when you are learning some instrument that you make a mistake. We went for the mistake itself. So let me give you a quick demonstration about the sound that we made with violins. And please forgive me, I'm not a violin player, so I'm sorry. I apologize to all the real players. But if I play G strings, for example, and I do the thing with the bow, the sound goes out of tune. And if we add some reverb, you can take the advantage of being a really shitty player and to use it as a resource. So that's one of the things that I love the most about this soundtrack, and I use it as often as I can. It's very beautiful, but at the same time, it's like I'm giving you the notes and I'm saying to you, anything can happen. So I think it's one of the most beautiful techniques that we use in the tarot parts. With obviously jump scares, you're gonna find lots of resources, and you're gonna find unexpected situations and a lot of silences as well. Silence is the most important part of this soundtrack. So I think we went for it 100%, and I hope we achieve the results for all the fans. Despite all the huge orchestrations with big brasses, big string orchestra, percussion, woodwinds, choir, everything, we faced another challenge, which was the use of two songs in particular for the movie, and one is called The Wedding and the other one is called Bring Me Flowers. And for this second one, we look for a song that can fit into the movie, but also within the action itself. Because it's a song that is played through a vinyl record player, and the characters can listen to the song within the house. So we knew right at the beginning of the production that we had to make a song that is oldie, vinyl, with the way of old recordings, classical, with vocals, really beautiful. And we started looking for songs that fit into that description, but then we realized that it would be even better if we made the song ourselves. So Arunava helped me a lot with this. He sent me a lot of links to kind of the music that he was going for, and I decided to make my own. So I made the song based on the story of a girl which is looking for a new love and looking for an expansion of her life. And I went for a beautiful orchestration, like traditional orchestration with strings, woodwinds, but it didn't quite work because it was very busy for the scene at the end. And this is just a song that we wanted to place in the background. We don't meant the song to be very lead into the narrative. So I was talking to Arunava, and he told me, I'm listening to a voice in my head, and it could be beautiful if we can find a singer who sings the song. And then I just immediately went to my friend Eva, and she's a beautiful opera singer, and he's a cello player as well. She's an actress, she does everything well. And I met her many years ago with a play that we did together, and I was always amazed by her skills, and I really look forward to work with her again soon. So I saw my opportunity, and I gave her a call, and I explained everything to her, and she said yes. So she came over to my place. I need to remind you that we are in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic situation. So she came over to my place, and we approached the recording with first piano solo and then vocals. Then we tried to record at the same time, but with a click track, and we thought it was okay, but let's be real, it's not the way they made songs early. So we, at the very last moment of the session, we decided together to go to a free tempo recording in which I was playing the piano and she was singing, and I was following her, she was following me, and together we breathe more. Musicians, we need to breathe. In today's music, we often go with the click so hard that we forget how to breathe and how to let the music express by itself. So we made one take of the song, free tempo, and that's the take that ended up being on the soundtrack. So I have to say huge thank you to Eva and also Arunava for letting me do this. It was such an amazing experience to work with these talented people and to deliver a beautiful song that I hope you enjoy as much as we do. The other song that we use in the movie, we call it The Wedding. It's a very special song for us because it takes place in a beautiful sequence provided by Arunava as well. And it's based on a really old folk song from India. As you know, the movie takes place in India, and me as an European composer, I didn't want to be this kind of composer that thinks knows everything. So I did a lot of research about the areas, about all these locations that they went through, and all these timeless signatures from India, beautiful rhythms, beautiful instruments, beautiful songs. And although you can find some regional India instruments with percussion, or maybe even with certain rhythms that I placed there, everything is hidden behind this hybrid orchestration that we have, because we didn't want the movie to be very specific about India, but more worldwide. But in this occasion, with this particular scene, we needed to do exactly the opposite. So Arunava gave me the brilliant idea of using this song. This song is performed by a singer called Jayanti Murmu. She's from a tribe from India called Santali. They are farmers, and they live as a tribe in the eastern mountains, in the jungle. And she sings this song in a very beautiful and emotional way. So I just got the song, and I decided to use it as a lead instrument for the song, and then right at the end I just used some merged strings to blend them together and to give a more of a cinematic transition. But it's beautiful because even the lyrics itself, they talk about during marriage, there is a young girl with a skin like a tree, and the more the sunset comes, the darker it gets when she leaves. And I think it's beautiful within the context of the movie, and I think it's beautiful outside of the movie, and it's one of the most distinctive songs that I've ever have the pleasure to use and to mix and to produce. My last hope is that people in India feel the respect that I have for the culture, for the music, that they can embrace the song and the soundtrack and the movie itself. And for me as a composer, my goal is to have a strong connection with the audience. So I really hope that we achieve that, and I know we did it with respect, with love, and with caring. And I really hope you enjoy both the movie and the soundtrack, and that it can be a beautiful and very long experience for you within your life. And hopefully we can see and revisit the place in the future, but who knows. But in the meantime, we are here, and I want to thank you for being here to listen to this making of. And I can say beautiful things enough to Arunava and the rest of the crew here, with Adrian, Guillermo, Marcos, who assist me do the editing and do the score production of the movie. I have a beautiful, wonderful team, and I'm very lucky to work with amazing people worldwide. So thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for enjoying Junglemahal. Thank you for listening to the music and going to theaters and see it on platforms anywhere. And I hope we see you in the future. Bye bye, take care. And this is Luis, and this has been the making of Junglemahal. Thank you and goodbye.